to put us on edge, she walks down the corridor, and she's not walking on the far right. She's walking right down the middle, and you're like, please.
The only person actually respected her was Hector. Hector?
Lester.
Lester.
Lecter.
Lecter.
Lester. Hector.
Looking in the...
No, when she's driving,
Oh.
you suddenly see some headlights coming on, which puts you a little on edge. But then you realise when she drives in that he's already parked.
Didn't put me on edge. I didn't see that.
Oh, right. Okay.
Hey, welcome to Screen Time. This is the channel where we rewatch movies, play old games, and see how we feel about them now, or watch new content.
Yeah.
And
So what did we watch this week, Lou?
So this week we watched Silence of the Lambs.
Yes, we did. We did. We
Went
revisited
dark.
this one. We did indeed. So Silence of the Lambs, 1991. So it's the only horror movie, I guess, that thriller. It's debatable, isn't it?
Yeah.
But for a film that came out and has got such shock to it, it won 5 Oscars: Best Picture, Director, Actor, Actress, and Screenplay. And what happened? It was almost a year later because it came out in January, so it missed the initial awards.
Wow.
And 1 year later, it still got Best Picture. So it just shows how much it got into people's heads. So should we talk about the premise?
Yes.
So the basic premise is that you have Agent Starling, who's a trainee at the FBI, and she gets asked to go in and interview the incarcerated serial killer Hannibal Lecter.
I want you to go after him again today in the asylum.
Who's the subject?
The psychiatrist Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal the cannibal.
I don't expect him to talk to you.
There's a new serial killer in the town, well, in the country, who's going around abducting and killing women. And they want to find out if previous serial killers who are in custody know or can give them any clues. So she goes in and interviews this guy, and they have to solve the crime.
I'm going to show you why we insist on such precautions. On the afternoon of July 8, 1981, he complained of chest pains and was taken to the dispensary. His mouthpiece and restraints were removed for an EKG. When the nurse leaned over him, he did this to her.
When did you first see it?
I think I probably saw it on TV.
Okay.
And at the time, I would have... did you say 91?
It was 91.
Yeah, so I would have been quite youngish.
Yeah.
So I think my first impressions of it would have been more of the scare than the story.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of scare moments. So I think I found it quite disturbing.
And a nice Chianti.
I saw this at the cinema when it came out.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I saw it at the cinema. So I kind of went along with all the hype and was surprised because it was very successful and it delivered everything you expected.
It's got so many layers and there's so much technique.
So much technique. Right from the start, actually, it's very long takes.
Yeah. No, because my initial feeling right from the start is, she's running through this forest and I just think it's so grey.
Oh, yeah.
It's so grey.
Yeah, the
and you just
palette
think, what is
really...
she doing? Even though it's an assault course, I just felt as soon as I watched it that she would get murdered.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
it's that
absolutely.
feel.
It's the whole film has got this kind of I can't explain it. It's a weight to it that's just like
yes.
The music also is very...
The feel of it
has
the feeling that Seven has.
Agreed. I think it's
raining a lot. It's bleak. It's winter.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
So I think also there's quite long takes. That what I found very interesting is that immediately you knew that she was being observed. It makes you self-conscious.
We're talking about Agent Starling.
We're talking about Agent Starling.
Which is
Jodie Foster. So she's quite short in height.
Oh, yes.
But ultimately, when she's walking through the FBI, she's going to visit Jack Crawford, who's her boss.
Yes.
She's walking through the corridors, and whenever she's waiting somewhere, the camera moves around and people are looking at you. They're looking down the camera at you.
I didn't notice that.
It's really interesting. It's a little bit like the Body Snatchers in some ways.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
particularly when she's on a one-to-one conversation and she's talking to a male.
Yes.
When she's talking to a man, the man is talking directly down the lens at you. Whereas when the camera cuts to her, she's looking slightly to the left or to the right. She's not directly at you. So there's a power balance going on.
As I actually noticed, they are focusing very much on the fact that she is a woman. Reason being is at the start again, when she's going through the office, she gets in a lift and there's men, very tall men with red t-shirts, and she has to stand in the middle and she's so tiny.
Yeah.
And it sort of sets her apart from everybody.
Yeah.
And then there's a scene where I think they find a body and all of these police officers are around her and they won't talk about what's happened to the victim in front of her. And she even makes a point of saying, I'm not happy that they didn't include me.
Yeah.
When I told that sheriff we shouldn't talk in front of a woman, that really burned you, didn't it? It was just smokes, darling. I had to get rid of him.
Matters, Mr. Crawford. Cops look at you to see how to act. Matters.
And so there is very much a drive in the movie of saying that there's this segregation, and he even acknowledges it.
Yes.
So it is a thing.
And you can tell she's a woman in a man's world.
Yeah.
And she's pushing into this, and you can feel the pressure from all sides. Every conversation she has with a man, almost, you get the feeling that the way it looks, it's like an interview or an interrogation.
So when she goes to the prison, there's that guy there who's in charge.
Yeah.
And he asks her out on a date.
Dr. Chilton.
Yeah, he's really creepy.
Yeah.
I must say, I can't ever remember one as attractive. Will you be in Baltimore overnight? Because this can be quite a fun town if you have the right guide.
And
he's looking down the camera.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because he says, if you're staying in town, I know a few places.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
It's very much from her perspective. It almost feels like a documentary in that way. So it feels real. So the movie feels like it's almost real. It's almost like it could be happening.
The only person actually respected her was Hector. Hector?
Lester.
Lester.
Lecter.
Lecter.
Lester. Hector.
Let's start that again.
No, that was good.
Hannibal Lecter.
Just call him Hannibal.
So the only person really that I felt respected her was Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah, I mean, I think again that built.
Yeah,
I think over time, when she first goes to the what is it? The prison, the
prison.
Senate.
I would say prison.
I'm just going to say
prison.
let's say prison. That whole thing puts you on edge because the design of the place, the old bricks, the lighting, it's very claustrophobic. Yeah. Again, it's to introduce the room before she goes down the corridor. They do a slow pan and everyone looks at her. And then you get introduced to Barney, who's the guy that goes, you'll be fine. You go in, stay to the far right of the corridor as you're walking down. But to put us on edge, she walks down the corridor and she's not walking on the far right. She's walking right down the middle. And you're like, please, just go to the right.
Yeah, because you could imagine a hand grabbing
go
her
to the
or
right.
something.
And so they put you on edge. And what's also really clever is that when she's walking down the corridor, the camera is walking with her and you're introduced to each of the cells.
Yeah.
And then when you get, and they're all interacting with her.
Yeah.
And when you get to Lecter's cell, he's already standing there, really dignified, and it's really
well lit.
Really well lit, and really, it's quite it's really unnerving because it's like he's expecting her, and he's not sitting down, he's not relaxed, he's not reading a book.
No,
he's there at attention, waiting for her to arrive.
Yeah, the glass. They say he's behind glass, but I've never believed it.
Closer.
But it's so clean.
Yeah, it's
that it doesn't feel like it's there. And I do wonder if, for
Yeah.
filming purposes, there wasn't glass there.
Possibly.
So you didn't get a reflection, because there are moments where you see a reflection, but I'm wondering if that's put on after.
Well, the reflection, some of those sequences where you see his reflection and hers, it's very deliberate. It's not like, it just happens to be there. He comes into frame and stuff. So it's really...
It makes you wonder if it did exist.
Yeah, that's possible. When you first meet Hannibal Lecter, I found that he puts an absolute fear in you because he's not aggressive. There's nothing. He's super intellectual, and he's almost dissecting her.
That expires in 1 week. You're not real FBI, are you?
I'm still in training at the academy.
Jack Crawford sent a trainee to me.
The questions are very specific and very personal,
Yes,
right from the start.
really personal.
He asks a question about what one of the other prisoners said further
which
down.
was obviously quite nasty.
Quite nasty. And she just openly tells him.
What did Miggs say to you? Multiple Miggs in the next cell. He hissed at you. What did he say?
He said, I can smell your...
And-
Which he kind of respects her for it.
He
and that's,
respects her for that, and then but I think he also considers it incredibly rude for someone to say that to her. So then later on, you hear that he's been speaking to him through the wall,
muttering things.
and then the guy kills himself, swallows his own tongue.
Yeah.
Starling,
Sir?
Miggs is dead.
Dad? How?
The orderly heard Lecter whispering to him all afternoon and Miggs crying. They found him at bed check. He'd swallowed his own tongue.
This guy can get into your head, and he can make you do things that maybe, just the constant.
Yeah.
He's such a good character.
He's
Considering he's not in the film actually that much.
No.
He dominates the film.
He kind of sets challenges for her, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Because it's like testing her before he gives her the information.
Yes.
So there's the Miss Moffat thing.
Yes.
Which again, it's like it's in the rain.
Mm-hmm.
It's a self-storage garage where the door doesn't lift properly.
Yeah.
And there's this older man trying to help her, and she's got her she's holding it up with like a jack.
Oh, if this door should fall down or anything else, this is the number for our Baltimore field office.
And she's like, call this number if it collapses. And what happens? It collapses. So it's dark inside when she's going through the garage. And it's just, everything about it is
What's
just
interesting
creepy.
also is that I noticed that at certain key moments, the music comes up. And when the music comes up, that something is going to be revealed. Yeah. So when she goes into that, it's actually a hearse, that car.
It is a hearse.
So she goes into the hearse, and to give you almost a clue of what you're coming up to next, there's a mannequin without its head sitting in the car seat. And so she looks at that first, and then she sees the jar. She reveals the jar, you've got that sort of like pickled head, basically.
Pickled head in the jar.
In the jar.
Which is lovely.
Which is lovely. Once she solves these puzzles, I find that it respects her a little bit more.
Yeah.
He gives her a towel. When she comes back, she's wet with rain.
Yes.
And I think that he respects the fact that she's willing to divulge information to him about personal things.
You think Jack Crawford wants you sexually? True, he is much older, but do you think he visualizes scenarios, exchanges?
He's almost like a vampire, but instead of feeding off of blood, he feeds off of information and psychology.
Yeah.
He loves the psychology of people.
That doesn't interest me, Doctor. Frankly, it's the sort of thing that Miggs would say.
Not anymore.
The way it's shot, there are these seamless kind of transitions that happen where you're present day and she's walking along, she's looking at something, and you cut to something that she could be looking at, but then you realize you've wound back in time to her childhood.
Yeah.
And there was quite a few moments in that
when
when she
she's
walks
walking to
out.
her car.
The car is the father
Yeah.
when she's a child. There were a few in there.
The movie really does play on your senses, and it uses your senses very effectively. Because as you said, there are moments where the music goes up, but there isn't really that much music throughout the movie. It doesn't have like a full-on score all the way through. So when she is in the prison and she's visiting him, it's very quiet, and you can hear the dripping of water, and it really creates that creepy sense.
Thank you.
Your bleeding has stopped.
How did you?
And it's the same when she goes into that garage as well. It's the rain outside, it's very foreboding. They play on the sense of smell as well, because there's a moment where they find there's a body and she goes in to examine the body, and they're all like going like this, and they actually put like something under their nose, because you can imagine this body has been in water a very long time, and it just, what the situation would be, what it would probably look like. You don't see the front of the body, you just see a hand, but it builds up. It's not something that you see straight away. As they're talking, you're imagining what it could be. That it smells terrible because they've got all this, and she's almost dry heaving as she's talking about it, and then you get this flash noise of the camera and a big flash, and it's just all of those elements just make it, it really creates the whole scene, it's a horrible scene.
2 of her fingernails are broken off, and there's dirt or grit under them. It looks like she's tried to claw her way through something.
The sound, actually, when you mentioned about the sound, it made me remember when she's revealing the Silence of the Lambs to Hannibal Lecter. They're both looking intensely at each other, and they're both looking down the camera this time at each other. But in the background, the sound in the background is actually whistling wind as she's explaining the story, because there's no flashback. She's telling the story. But that wind in the background, you get the chills as she's telling the story. The visuals really come in because of the sound usage.
What did you see, Clarice? What did you see?
Lambs. They were screaming.
They were slaughtering the spring lambs.
They were screaming.
Let's talk about Buffalo Bill.
Yeah.
Since the story is about trying to find out who and catch Buffalo Bill.
Yes. You're introduced him really late.
Yeah.
And you never really get a clear view of him until quite a long way in, after the abduction of the girl. And it just so happens what really kickstarts the investigation a lot is that the girl that he abducts is the daughter of a senator. Obviously, people didn't get what the murders were for. But all the clues are all the way through the movie. You've got the sound when they're unzipping the body. The big sound is the zipper. And there's lots of shots of scissors. There's lots of... So even before you're introduced to what the crime is about, now knowing now there's an emphasis on craft and scissors and zippers and clothing and but it's such a horrific thing that no one's mind ever goes there until you're told what the crime is about.
He's making himself a woman's suit, Mr. Crawford, out of real women, and he can sew. This guy, he's very skilled.
Buffalo Bill, the way he disassociates, because his main reason for killing the women is to get the skin and
create a skin suit. Yeah.
There's one moment where the girl is down in the thing, and she says, "I want my mummy. I want my mummy," and you can see him breaking. He's like, "Just put the lotion in the basket," and he loses it because it's getting to him. And then she starts screaming because she sees the nails embedded.
Yes.
That's switches him off again. He's like, and he just starts sort of aping her.
And he's playing that loud music,
Yeah.
probably to muffle her.
Okay, precious, time for a little treat.
He's on that periphery of sort of like caring, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Not
and I
seeing
think-
them as a resource.
And it's funny because, I mean, he's got the music to muffle her.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you've got Hannibal Lecter
Yeah.
when he's in that sort of cage.
Yes.
And he has the piano music and he's just there doing that really calmly when he does the attack on the police officers.
Oh.
You know, and it's that really relaxed piano music.
But it's almost like he's relishing the moment. He hasn't done this sort of thing for so
Yeah.
long, and he's just like, hitting
it's
this guy.
really
And it's
hits.
just like, it's just loving the moment.
Yeah, and it's, oh my goodness.
It's powerful.
Oof. There's a lot of moments in the movie where I did find they were telling us what they were doing.
My daughter is Catherine.
Boy, that's smart.
Release her unharmed.
Jesus, that's really smart.
Anywhere in
Keeps
this country.
repeating the name.
And I promise
He
you.
sees
you will have
Catherine
my
as a
heart.
person and not just an object.
Obviously, it's to educate us as an audience,
Yeah.
but not make us feel stupid.
Yeah.
But I did notice that as a thing. So I think that is another moment where they're saying that. It brings in actually all of the techniques probably that's involved in investigations.
Yeah, agreed.
And
yeah.
so it actually makes it feel more real.
Mm.
There's also night vision that's used as well.
Mhm.
You know, he uses night vision when he's abducting the
Mhm.
last girl. Would you fall for that?
I think I'd be too selfish. I think I'd see this guy struggling with the sofa, and I'd be like, I think he's all right. He can, you know. But it just shows that how easy it would be to abduct someone if you're
Absolutely.
convincing, and the way he gets her into the van to help push the sofa back and stuff. It's just
You're just sitting there going, no,
Stop,
no,
stop,
like,
go, go,
yeah.
go.
Prior to that happening, she's driving along, and I think in some ways there's a real respite in that moment because the film is very heavy. I find the film very heavy, and it's very, you know, it's very dark, it's very deep. Everything, all your senses are just made to feel like, oh, and the fact, as we said before, it's very grey.
Yeah.
The grade on the movie is very grey. So when you get a moment when she's in her car and she's singing away,
she's singing to
it
American
just-
Girl.
yeah, it's
and-
really light.
yeah.
Just a very split moment where you feel you can go, you know,
Yes.
nothing's going to happen here. She's listening to some
But
really
it
light
puts
beat
you on.
music.
It puts you on edge, though.
As soon as she
because-
parks,
Well, yes, but you see some lights coming in
yeah,
behind.
he's looking in the.
No, when she's driving,
Oh.
you suddenly see some headlights coming on, which puts you a little on edge. But then you realise when she drives in that he's already parked.
Didn't put me on edge. I didn't see that.
Oh right, okay. It put me
And
on
there's
edge. I was
lots
thinking,
of
oh, he's following her. There's lots of false
Lots of
things, lots of
techniques.
tactics to sort of put you on edge.
But that's great because that means that, you know, you still get things out of it when you're watching it again.
It's a multi-watch.
Yeah.
This. They're talking about the insects,
Yes.
and then it cuts to like a butterfly, but it's on a desk, and it's only then when the camera starts pulling back that you're aware that it's actually Buffalo Bill's
yeah.
place.
And it's creepy.
It's just the worst.
And the camera sort of weaves through and takes you through, which is always really unnerving because you're not sure what you're going to come
What you're going to
across.
see, yeah.
But then you hear the woman crying or calling or shouting in the distance,
Yeah.
and gradually you get closer and closer to her. One of the things we're introduced to at the beginning is her training, and
Yeah.
I think we pop back and forth to her going through her training while she's doing this investigation.
Yes, it's like an ongoing.
But also you're given an insight into the training that they would be doing on a day-to-day as well.
Yes.
And one of them was, you know, them with firearms entering into a room or a building or something. And one thing that she failed with on this particular instance was that she didn't check her corner.
Mm-hmm.
And they make that very, very clear that she hasn't done that.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you're an avid film watcher, you'll be like, that might come in later.
FBI, hands up! Don't move!
Turn around. Hands behind your back. Thumbs up.
Did
dead, Starling.
And it does.
It does, yes.
And it does, but it does in a very enhanced way. As I said before, you know, it's all about, there was a lot of things to do with senses.
Yeah.
And she finds herself in a moment where the lights are out.
Yeah.
She's literally just going like this in
All
the
she's
darkness.
got is touch and hearing.
Touch and hearing. And she's working her way through this maze that we discussed earlier. That, I was so on edge.
Yeah.
And I'm always on edge when I watch that moment.
Yeah.
And, you know, she's sort of standing and looking around, and you can see a hand behind her trying to touch her hair.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all of my, I mean, that puts some goosebumps on my arms now.
What I liked also about this film is that it's no spoiler that she, you know, pops the guy and kills him.
Yeah.
But there's not a jump scare at the end. She kills him and he's dead.
Yes.
It's like, it's reality. The guy gets shot, he's dead. There's no like, boo, and he jumps up, you know.
But the thing that I noticed with that is that up until that point, they're in complete darkness, as we've just said.
Yeah.
As soon as she shoots him, she shoots the window out, and
Yes.
it's brightness.
Brightness.
And
yeah.
I think that also is the indication that it's all over. So straight away, as soon as that moment is, he's done.
He's done.
The light is
comes
out. The
back.
sun is shining through.
The film lightens.
Yeah.
Particularly when the girl is rescued and she comes out and she's actually adopted the dog.
Precious.
His dog. I'm not sure if I could look at that dog the same way, to be honest with you, because that dog has seen a lot. I'm not sure if I could have that dog as my own pet. You don't know what he'd be gnawing on in the middle of the night. So,
well, yeah, exactly. The whole movie is grey. But then as soon as you get to the conclusion of the movie and there's like a happier moment, the first thing that it cuts to is a load of flowers, which are incredibly colourful. And
where's that? I'm trying to remember
so
where
it's
that
the
is.
ceremony.
Oh, yes, okay.
There's a ceremony after.
An award ceremony for her.
The award ceremony for her and for Clarice. They do enhance the colour when everything is over. It makes you feel happy. You realise that, okay, it's all done now, but is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it?
Is it? Exactly.
Yeah. The ending is one of those endings where most movies you get this severe ending and you just think, that's the end of the story. You can't really imagine these people existing outside of the movie. But the way that this movie ends is one of those ones where somebody's walking away.
Yeah, it's almost like the beginning of another story.
Yeah, and you just, you feel that. I found myself keeping an eye on the person, and I was watching and seeing if they actually did do the route all the way down. And then in your head, you're thinking, wonder what's going to happen. And
it's a good ending.
Yeah, and it makes you realise that, wow, okay, so that's out there.
Yeah, exactly. It puts you in a state when you leave the theatre. There's people like that out there.
Yeah.
There's you know.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
So it stays with you.
Yeah.
And obviously it stayed with people because it got the Oscar.
It got the Oscar.
5 Oscars a year later. I mean, I haven't watched this film in the longest time. So how did you feel about coming back to it?
I really enjoyed the watch.
Yeah.
It didn't disappoint.
No, it hasn't dated.
I enjoyed analysing it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a really good watch. And yourself?
No, absolutely. It was what I found interesting this time is looking at it more carefully and looking at the way that they were filming it. I wasn't even aware the last time that they were projecting this kind of like feeling of being watched all the time. She was being coveted everywhere she went, which was the basic premise of the story of coveting something that you can't have.
Yeah.
And there was all this looking to camera stuff was just like, whoa.
See, I'm going to have to watch it again because I hadn't noticed that. You'll have to let us know if you've noticed that.
I noticed it. I don't know. I might be completely off the rails. I don't know.
So how would you rate this?
Oh, you wouldn't really want to watch it too many times because of the subject. But when you do watch it, it's like, wow, this is just amazing filmmaking and just such a good story, and the characters are really good. So I would give it a good solid, well, not solid, 8.5. I would go.
You always stay around the 8s. I'm going to give it a 9.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 9. Yeah, I mean, let us know your thoughts on Silence of the Lambs and how you would rate this movie.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear your comments.
Absolutely.
And please, if you've enjoyed hearing us chit-chat
Yeah.
about this, please like and subscribe. It really helps us.
It really does.
We're a new channel.
We are.
So
Yeah, as you can probably tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Yes, like and subscribe would be fantastic, and we'll catch you next time.
Yeah, next time.
Thank you. Take
See
care.
you soon. Bye.
Bye.